Welcome to my channel, The Stoic Way. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up because what I'm about to reveal will change the way you think about attraction forever. Listen closely, because this isn't fluff. This is real raw psychology, the kind of insight most men will never hear and most women won't admit aloud. If you've ever wanted a woman to feel your absence like a weight she can't shake off, you're about to learn the invisible levers that make it happen. Here's the first truth. Absence is more than just physical distance. It's emotional tension. It's creating a subtle vacuum where your energy lingers even when your body isn't there. Women are wired to notice the space you leave behind, the silence, the mystery, the lack of predictability, and it triggers something primal. You see, men often think they need constant attention, constant texting, constant reassurance to stay desirable. That's the trap. The more you chase, the less she notices your value. Step back strategically, and suddenly your presence becomes a luxury she craves, not an expectation she tolerates. But this isn't about ignoring her or playing games. It's about becoming the man whose life is so full, so compelling, that your absence naturally stirs longing. When you cultivate experiences, achievements, and even challenges outside of her sphere, you create a gravitational pull that draws her attention without forcing it. Women are subconsciously attracted to what they can't fully control. Your unpredictability isn't about manipulation, it's about self mastery. Next, understand the power of memory. Women remember emotions, not words. The brief but intense moments you create stay with her far longer than any long conversation ever could. When you make her feel alive, desired, or uniquely understood, those moments turn into emotional anchors, and anchors create longing. Even if you step back for a day, a week, or longer, those emotional imprints begin to echo quietly in her mind. She doesn't just miss you, she misses who she became when she was with you. Never underestimate the power of silence. Silence is magnetic because it invites reflection. When you pull back, when you stop filling every space with your presence, her thoughts begin to drift, and drifting thoughts are where desire deepens. She replays your words, your gestures, the moments that carried weight. Slowly, without realizing it, she starts missing the man who isn't there, yet whose absence speaks louder than any message ever could. Now let's go deeper. Missing you is never accidental. It's shaped through subtle emotional patterns she can't consciously label. This is where most men fail. They react instead of reflecting. They overwhelm her with attention, believing love is measured in constant messages and nonstop presence. But desire is measured in absence and intrigue. Think of it like this. When a song plays over and over, it becomes background noise. You stop noticing it, but when it plays sparingly, unexpectedly, it haunts your mind. That's exactly how you must exist in her perception. Unpredictable, scarce, yet unforgettable. Here's the truth few men realize. Emotional contrast creates obsession. If every moment together is predictable, her mind doesn't work overtime to feel connected. But when you alternate intensity with distance, engagement with silence, warmth with challenge, her brain starts to chase patterns. She analyzes, she remembers, she compares, and she starts longing for the next encounter. Your absence becomes a mirror, reflecting back the moments she secretly wishes to relive. Every withdrawal of attention is a subtle signal that you are more than the ordinary, that you have layers she hasn't fully uncovered. You also need to understand the art of emotional scarcity. Women are attracted to what feels scarce because scarcity triggers value in the subconscious mind. It's not about playing games. It's about demonstrating that your life is rich, your time is limited, and your attention isn't given away freely. When you do engage, it carries weight. Every interaction becomes a memory. Every word resonates, and she begins to measure her day by the moments when you cross her mind. Absence doesn't weaken connection, it intensifies it, but only if your presence was already valuable, energetic, and magnetic. Then there's the subtle power of unpredictability in behavior. Women love certainty and comfort, but they crave excitement in desire. Show her stability in some areas, your character, your principles, but unpredictability in others, your moods, your passions, your adventures. This emotional push and pull plants seeds of longing. She starts noticing patterns she can't control, moments she wants to repeat, and slowly missing you becomes an automatic reflexive response to your absence. Finally, understand that longing is a silent confirmation of your worth. The more she misses you, the more she subconsciously acknowledges the energy and value you bring into her world. She's not thinking about it logically. Her brain is reacting, replaying memories, analyzing emotions, seeking fulfillment, and craving the man who exists beyond her reach. Your absence is not emptiness. It's gravity pulling her toward you in ways words never could. Let's go even deeper. If you truly want a woman to miss you, you have to understand that it's not about controlling her. It's about controlling the energy she associates with you. Think about the men she's encountered before. They are predictable, available, and emotionally disposable. You are about to break that pattern. You want her mind to replay your presence like a film she can't turn off, even when you aren't there. That's the level of emotional impact we're aiming for. Start by mastering your own emotional independence. Women are incredibly sensitive to neediness. If your validation depends on her attention, her absence triggers anxiety for you, not desire for her. When you detach internally while remaining magnetic externally, your absence becomes fertile ground for longing. You're not ignoring her. You're existing fully in your own life. And a man who thrives independently creates a psychological void that women instinctively want to fill. They don't just miss your company, they miss the version of you that exists in your own world, unbothered, unbound, unclaimed. Next, create emotional highs. Memories of intense connection, laughter, or passion are not casual. They are fuel for desire. Make her feel alive when she's with you. Make her feel noticed, wanted, and emotionally understood in ways that are rare. The brain prioritizes emotional peaks over ordinary moments. When you leave, those peaks echo louder than any words you could text. Every shared laugh, every subtle touch, every private joke becomes a psychological anchor. She doesn't just remember you. She remembers the way you made her feel, and absence magnifies that memory exponentially. Timing and spacing are your silent weapons. You want her to notice your absence without feeling manipulated. Step back in ways that feel natural, not forced. Stop constant communication. Let her feel the subtle emptiness of your absence. Her mind will fill in the blanks, projecting curiosity, desire, and sometimes regret. This is where obsession begins. She starts replaying moments, analyzing your patterns, and imagining the next time she'll see you. You've created a gravitational pull that she can't resist. Finally, keep the mystery alive. Reveal yourself in layers, never fully exposing all of your energy, emotions, or intentions at once. Humans are wired to pursue what is partially hidden. The more she has to mentally fill in, the better. More she misses you. Your absence is the canvas. Her imagination paints the masterpiece. The stronger, fuller, and more magnetic you are in life, the more her mind drifts to you when you're gone, craving the man whose presence lingers like a shadow in her thoughts. Now, let's uncover the hidden triggers that make a woman long for you without even realizing it. This isn't about manipulation. It's about alignment with human psychology. Women are drawn to energy more than words, to presence more than promises. You want her to feel your absence the way she feels your presence, tangible, electric, and unforgettable. Every glance, every smile, every carefully measured moment leaves a psychological imprint that grows stronger when you step away. One of the most powerful triggers is unpredictability in your engagement. When she cannot fully predict your reactions or availability, her mind starts seeking patterns. It begins to anticipate, to wonder, to obsess. Predictable men are ignored. Unpredictable men are remembered. You don't need to create drama or force distance. Simply live a life that doesn't revolve entirely around her. When she senses that your energy is valuable and your time is limited, desire begins to form naturally. Scarcity attracts, and absence intensifies that attraction. Another crucial element is emotional resonance. Women remember how they feel far more than what they see or hear. If you've sparked strong emotions, joy, excitement, desire, even mild frustration, those feelings don't disappear when you're gone. They linger, they echo. That echo becomes the quiet pull that draws her thoughts back to you again and again. The deeper and more authentic the emotional impact, the stronger the longing becomes. She may not consciously recognize it, but her mind will replay your presence like a cherished memory, and your absence will make that replay even more powerful. This is where subtle challenge matters. Women are instinctively drawn to men who aren't fully available, who hold boundaries without coldness, who challenge without rejection. When you don't bend to every impulse or request, you communicate value. You signal that your attention is earned, not handed out freely. Her subconscious registers this immediately, awakening curiosity, desire, and the urge to reconnect. Absence isn't emptiness. It's a quiet test she feels compelled to pass without realizing one exists. Finally, anchor her through positive association. When you do engage, make it meaningful. High-quality moments leave lasting mental imprints. Share laughter, create private moments, spark intimacy, but always leave something unresolved, something she can't fully grasp. That's what creates wanting. Absence amplifies these impressions, transforming brief moments into persistent thoughts. She doesn't miss you as someone who walked away. She misses you as an experience she can't replace, a presence that settles deeply into the landscape of her mind. This is where missing you becomes unavoidable, where psychology merges with emotional mastery. If you want her to crave your presence, you must first command your own. A man who is grounded, confident, and unapologetically alive in his own world carries a magnetism no number of messages or calls could ever replicate. Your energy, not your words, becomes the signal she cannot ignore. Women subconsciously track emotional weight. When your life feels rich, purposeful, and independent, your absence is not emptiness. It's gravity pulling her back toward you. Understand that longing thrives on contrast. She must feel what it's like when you are present versus when you are not. If every interaction is constant and predictable, her brain becomes numb to your value. But when your presence is rare, deliberate, and emotionally charged, every moment leaves an imprint. Her mind begins replaying your gestures, your tone, your energy. This is why selective engagement is crucial. The more she experiences the peaks of your presence, the more she will suffer in your absence. Desire grows not from proximity, but from the memory of your energy and the void it leaves behind. The next truth is about emotional layering. Every time you may interact, make her feel multiple emotions at once: excitement, intrigue, connection, subtle challenge. The brain remembers intensity. When you disappear, for a while, those layered memories replay like a movie. She doesn't just miss you, she misses the emotional journey that only exists when she's with you. Your absence becomes a canvas where her imagination paints desire, anticipation, and sometimes even regret. Silence remains your ally. Resist the urge to overcommunicate or clarify every interaction. Let her mind wander. Let her reflect. When a man is silent but emotionally present in memory, women start filling the gaps themselves. They create scenarios, replay your shared moments, and unconsciously attach importance to you that words could never enforce. This is the psychological alchemy of absence. She begins to miss not just what you do, but who you are and the way she feels in your presence. Finally, cultivate an aura of mystery that never fully resolves. Reveal pieces of yourself in layers, but never all at once. Keep parts of your life, your thoughts, your experiences just out of reach. This partial revelation makes the mind chase, speculate, and long for completion. Your absence magnifies this effect. She doesn't just think about you, she thinks about what she doesn't have, and in doing so, she begins to crave you deeply, profoundly, uncontrollably. When mastered, this is not manipulation. It is the natural response to a man who is fully himself, alive, and intentionally scarce. Now let's seal this truth. Missing you is a byproduct of your energy, your presence, and your mastery over your own life. Women don't miss men. They miss the way those men make them feel. Your goal is not to force longing, but to create it naturally through your own confidence, independence, and emotional intensity. The more fully you live, the more pronounced your absence becomes. You are no longer someone she can predict, control, or possess. You are a force she experiences, remembers, and ultimately craves. The first step is absolute. Emotional sovereignty. You cannot expect longing if your happiness depends on her attention. A man who thrives internally, who seeks fulfillment from his own growth, adventure, and passions, radiates a magnetic energy. This energy doesn't just attract her, it lingers in her mind. Even when you're not around, she will start to notice your absence because it isn't simply physical, it's emotional. Your energy becomes a missing piece in her day-to-day life, a puzzle she unconsciously wants to complete by reconnecting with you. Next, intensify the emotional peaks you create. Every interaction should be memorable, layered, and meaningful. Give her moments she will replay over and over. Laughter, validation, subtle challenge, desire. When you step away, those experiences echo louder than any message or gesture. Absence amplifies these memories, turning them into cravings. She isn't just thinking about you, she is reliving you internally over and over. This is where longing becomes almost uncontrollable because it is rooted in genuine emotional resonance. The subtle art of restraint cannot be overstated. Silence, selective attention, and purposeful scarcity transform your absence into desire. Do not confuse this with neglect. This is strategic, intentional distance that lets her mind fill in the blanks. She begins to imagine your energy, to replay your gestures, to crave your attention without you uttering a word. The more magnetic and high value your presence is when you engage, the more powerful your absence becomes. Finally, embrace the power of mystery. Never reveal all of yourself at once. Keep parts of your thoughts, your life, and your energy slightly out of reach. Humans are wired to pursue what is partially hidden. When she cannot fully grasp you, her mind starts to chase the parts she can't have. Absence becomes a canvas for her imagination, and over time, longing turns into craving. She doesn't just miss you, she misses the experience, the energy, and the way your presence elevated her world. Live fully, create memories that matter, step back when appropriate, and watch as absence transforms into one of the most powerful tools of attraction. She will miss you deeply, not because you forced it, but because you mastered the art of being unforgettable, even when you're gone. Thanks for watching. If you found like this video, please press the bell icon and subscribe to my channel, The Stoic Way.